How's it going, everyone? This is Kevin. Today I want to bring along with me to talk about why I have strayed away from using my 20mm Tamron. So let's jump right into it. So after getting my 17 to 28 Tamron, I've kind of not used my 20mm Tamron anymore. Not really because it's a bad lens, but just mainly because, well, I have the zoom lens, so it gives me a little bit more focal length. But there are a couple things of why I have chosen to use more of the 17 to 28 rather than just a prime smaller lens when it comes down to the vlogging, when it could be a little bit more beneficial when I'm having to hold the camera out. When it comes down to these two lenses, I've noticed there's a huge difference in the performance between the 17 to 28 and the 20mm. The 17 to 28, in all honesty, has had a better autofocus and just built-in overall for my needs than the 20mm. The 20mm is not a bad lens overall. For this price point, you can get one new, I believe, for $300. Now this one retails at like $900 if it's not on sale. Luckily, the main reason why I really got this one was because I got it used for a very more affordable price, which just made sense for my budget. Instead of buying it new for $900, I got it for $650 used, which just made more sense to get because it was a steal in my opinion. Now the 20mm, it has been a great lens overall since I've gotten it. I've been using it basically for all my vlogging up until recently when I started using this one more, just because the autofocus was a lot faster and I just noticed that it wouldn't hunt as much. The 20mm, it had its flaws. Obviously it's a $300 lens, so if you're kind of stuck with deciding which one would be best for you, I'm going to give you a little bit of why it was a reason that I strayed away from using this to using this one more, but why it's still not a bad choice to go with this one depending on what you're looking for. So the first thing, it's a $300 lens compared to $900. If you're kind of debating if you want to pay the extra money, think about it this way. Are you planning to want to use this lens for a more professional setting, or are you just wanting to have something for capturing some kind of the vlog setting and just something simple? If that's the case, then I would just go with this one because you're going to be saving a lot more money when it comes down to getting this lens. But there are some drawbacks. Like I said, the focus hunting on this lens is a little bit annoying, and for lack of a better way of describing it, there would be some times where I would go out and shoot some vlogs and I would notice that it was focus hunting most of the time, so the footage wasn't usable, so it kind of sucked. But there was a firmware update that I did and it got better, and the autofocus kind of got quieter too, which my microphone never picked it up that heavily, so that's not really a huge drawback for me. But when it comes down to the 17 to 28, I did notice that the autofocus was a lot quieter and faster. It's kind of hard to miss just a focus point with this one when I was using it for the vlogging that I've noticed it. So it's kind of nice to just simply trust the lens a little bit more. So that's one of the main reasons. If you're wanting to have it more of a professional setting, I would think that this would be a little bit more worth your investment. When it comes down to the 17 to 28, I haven't noticed it hunting as much as it's done with the 20mm. So it's one of the things that I would consider when it comes down to choosing this price point. $300 is great because you can use it towards other gear, but if you want to wait and be patient for a longer term of investment, I would get the 17 to 28. Now the second reason why I would choose the 20mm over the 17 to 28 is just the height and weight and everything in between compared to this one. Very difference in weight when it comes down to the vlogging department. Whenever I'm holding the camera out with this lens, it's a lot nicer on my arm versus this one's a little bit heftier, but not that hefty. So if you're wanting to get something that's a little bit less heavy, I would just go ahead and get a 20mm lens, because if it's a one kind of trick lens for the weight of it, this doesn't hurt whatsoever to just have for $300. Now the third point of what I would choose a 17 to 28 versus a 20mm is one of the main things is, well, you get more focal range, right? If there isn't much of a focal range dilemma for you, well, the 20mm is a great lens for you, but I kind of strayed away from it because I wanted to have a little bit more punch when it came down to my vlogs, to have a little bit more focal range when it came down to just bringing one lesson to be just on my camera and not take it off while I'm filming, and then use my other lenses for my photography on the other camera. That way I'm not really kind of having to change back and forth with my prime lenses to get different focal ranges, to get different kind of video that I would want to have for the videos. So the cool thing is, well, you get 17mm to 28, which is a pretty good amount of focal range when it comes down to filming for vlogging and also getting some kind of B-roll footage that you want to have. Obviously you can still change it if that's not the biggest issue for you to just change lenses. Well, $300, $900. But for me, it just made more sense to have a lens that had multiple focal ranges than just one when it comes down to performance when I'm trying to keep my videos more efficiently with the time that I'm trying to go out to film. But those are mainly the reasons why I decided to kind of stray away from my 20mm lens. It's not that it's a horrible lens in reality. I've been using it for quite a while now, but it just made sense once I found this used. Otherwise, I would have stuck with this one. The hunting of this is not as horrible as I kind of maybe might have made it seem, but it does come down to the price point for me. Whenever I got this one, it just made sense because I was investing in other gear that I wanted. But if I would have been more patient, I probably would have just saved up and gotten this one. But I'm glad I waited though, because now I have this lens and this lens. One of the reasons why I'm not getting rid of it is because for the price point, it's just not worth the hassle to go sell it. I'm just gonna keep it because for some of the client work that I have to do, I need that extra focal wide lenses, and not just one of them, but have two of them, so then I can have both of them when it comes down to it, one at 17, one at 20, and I can cover all my bases when it comes down to that type of videos that I have to do for some clients sometimes. So it's not worth to get rid of, and I can get around with the hunting sometimes and everything like that, so it's not that big of a deal to me. But it's one of the reasons still that I strayed away from it, just because I have this one already. So that's kind of like the only reason why I got rid of using this every time in my videos. But who knows, I might still use it depending on the situation. In case I don't want to like risk this lens, I can bring this one out and just kind of use it that way. But for now, I'm gonna be using my 17 to 28mm when it comes down to the vlog kind of types of videos, and going out and about to just creating more of these YouTube videos for you guys, just because overall I've been happier with the performance of it. And now that I own this lens, actually I can kind of retire this one from the vlog parts of the videos and only use it for necessities that I might need. But that was some of the reasons why I just kind of strayed away from my 20mm lens and started using my 17 to 28, in case it might help you out to decide if you should invest more into the 17 to 28 and be patient, or just go ahead and get the 20mm Tamron if you're more on a budget and you think you're not gonna be using the extra focal ranges when it comes down to the other lens. This is something that I've noticed myself for my videos, so I'm hoping that this is gonna help you out, just so that you go out and create more content and just have fun out there and not really stressing out about what kind of gear you must have. But with all that said and done, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, share this video with a friend, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.